now the flip side.
Sunday night should be entertaining too.
Yep.
And the Pack Rat offense is doing what they've been doing the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
Against a New Orleans team that had to go cross country to the desert 6 days ago and basically got ran off the field.
Yep.
And Bruce find his touch. Or is he like one of those sailfish that basically, once he loses it, he can't get it back?
Yep. Now for the high school side of things, we have recently heard that Brentwood High, Christ Presbyterian, Brentwood Academy, and Battleground Academy had to cancel their games yesterday because of COVID-19.
Yep.
And Fairview High School canceled their games for 2 weeks.
CPA was canceled, but luckily, Good Pasture found another game against McGavick.
Yeah.
We'll take.
And there's also several other teams. McCallie High School canceled a away game in Alabama because of COVID.
Yep.
There was also another game that was canceled going out of state because of COVID. Heading right into Kentucky. That game was canceled because of COVID. And it was a high school game.
And the only two teams out of the Ohio Valley Conference to have played games have been Austin Peay and Eastern Kentucky. Everybody else in the Ohio Valley Conference is yet to take a snap.
Yep.
Because of COVID.
Oh, wait a minute. The Alabama-Mizzou game is about... Whoa, wait a minute. It's not even started yet. Good God Almighty. And here's something from the college standpoint. Vanderbilt's new and improved coaching staff include 2 of the Tennessee Titans' former greats on their coaching staff. Not necessarily. On the defensive side of the ball, is one of the best defenses from the 2008 season.
And unfortunately, Maplewood game got off to a rocky start.
The new defensive coach of the Gridiron Commodores is former Tennessee Titans defensive back Javon Hay. And that's a name that nobody has ever heard. That's a name that nobody has even heard before. They haven't heard this name in a long time. Javon Hay. And looking up his games as a Titan in the past, he was a beast on the field. He was the mini version of Javon Curse.
Could be. And had a Jerry Bunch deal last night? The Admirals?
Yeah.
Or did they even play last night?
The Franklin High Admirals did play. I don't know who they played against. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Fairview was their opponent. Franklin High won by forfeit.
Yep, they did, didn't they? I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot they had to forfeit.
Yeah.
Because I saw something, what was it, Thursday night where they were like, besides Franklin and Fairview, McGavick, Good Pasture, and CPA and somebody, there were like 3 games, and then luckily Good Pasture was able to play McGavick. I don't know what happened with CPA. I don't know what happened there. So
They forfeit the game. They canceled their game. CPA's game was against Brentwood High.
Yep.
Both Brentwood and CPA canceled their games against each other. So both teams forfeit. So that was a double forfeit.
And from the TSSA, you have to forfeit, then it just doesn't count.
Exactly.
And Maplewood finally got underway, but their season got out to a thud of a start. Picked up right where they left off a year ago.
I got an update for you folks. Mississippi State and Auburn are tied 34-all.
Well, don't you mean LSU and Mississippi State?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're tied 34-all in the 4th and final quarter.
We may have some overtime here, children.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And Cincinnati just wrapped up their game beating Army 24-10.
That game is in the can.
That game is in the can. Cincinnati's 2-0. Army drops to 2-1.
Well, at least some teams are getting some games in. Memphis was supposed to be playing UTSA last night, but unfortunately that game got canceled.
Yep.
Memphis will be going down to SMU and Gerald J. Ford Stadium next Saturday to open up the American slate.
Yep.
SMU, I think, was playing somebody earlier today. I don't know if they came in or not.
And I just got word. Florida has whooped the holy heck out of the Ole Miss Rebels, leading 51-35.
And this just in. Another edition of another non-coach Lane Kiffin team. Go figure.
The only team that Lane Kiffin is coaching now these days is Florida Atlantic. He's in FAU. That's where he is. That's where he's at. That's where he's stuck at. Oh, wait a minute. Vanderbilt's playing tonight.
They're playing in 20 minutes.
They're playing, yeah, and so is Tennessee.
Tennessee's probably going to beat South Carolina. The Indians are going to probably get their bloods and guts spilled on Kyle Field.
Yep.
So we'll probably have both final scores by about 9:30 after we're done with this pod.
9:30, 10 o'clock at the most.
Way after we're done with this pod. And oh yeah, way after this pod is over with, what's the late game, you ask? It's not Pac-12 after dark, even though Pac-12 will be playing their schedule later.
Yep.
It's the Troy, don't call us state Trojans, playing them Codes of BYU. And Troy, unfortunately, has to make the long cross-country trip to the Mormon State.
Yep.
And go to Provo, Utah. At the home of the LDS folk. Oh, brother. How painful for Troy.
Yep. And here's the thing. The way I love about high school, college, and pro games is all playing on the weekends. You got high school on Fridays. You got college on Saturdays. You got the pros on Sunday.
The boys on Sunday and Monday, and the pros kick it off on Thursday.
And Sunday, yep.
So you're pretty.
And hopefully, sometime this Friday, we'll see My TV 30 picking up their football games again soon and televising them as games of the week.
Kicking off their season with what was it? Riverdale and Blackman, and then they had
the battle in the borough. The battle in the borough. Let's just hope they learned their lesson from the basketball debacle years ago.
Don't get me started. Now I remember. Well, let me come back to that. We'll pick that up in a second. Go where you were gonna head. I'll be right back.
Yep. Kyle Trask actually, and speaking of Florida, Kyle Trask, the true freshman, had did a record whopping throwing 6 TDs. They gave Florida that massive win. Kudos to you, dude. Keep up the good work. Sure, and let's not. Also tonight will be Florida State and the Miami Hurricanes. It's another battle in the swamp. It's the college battle in the swamp.
Wasn't it the same debacle where there were a couple of kids, or maybe a coach that kind of got into that little fight around the bench or somewhere?
This was during basketball season, and this was the girls' basketball team of Riverdale and Blackman. Each team wanted to throw the game. So both teams did it. The coaches found out. The coaches were angry. Both teams forfeit that game against each other. It was a double forfeit, and it was a big embarrassment and a blemish to both them schools. The coaches, the athletic directors found out. The athletic directors were mad. The principals were pissed, and they were suspended.
And they should have been.
And what's so bad about it?
How are you going to allow coaches and players to forfeit a game that probably...
Well, the coaches didn't even know about it. The coaches didn't even know that the players were going to throw the game.
And check this out. tournament seating on the line when there could be.
It wasn't a district. And you want to know what's so bad about this? This is a double whammy. And here's why. Number one, it was a championship game. It was a Class 5 AAA championship game.
So that,
it was a girls' championship basketball game.
Was that for the overall region and a right to host in a sub-state qualifier?
Of next year, yeah. But both teams forfeited, and guess what happened? Blackman was supposed to be picked as a favorite, but they lost the right to host next year's championship game.
And they should have. When you're going to pull a stunt like that, you kind of deserve. You kind of get what you pay for.
So we're going to see. We're going to see if Riverdale and Blackman cannot do what the girls' basketball teams have done. Was throw a game where it's going to count. It's throw a game where it's going to count.
That was stupid.
Oh, we're going to see sophomore quarterback Mac Jones for the Alabama Crimson Tide taking the field. Alabama had chose to receive the ball, so we're going to see Mac Jones doing his thing.
Right off the bat.
Uh-oh. Now, I just found out something about the Kentucky-Auburn game. Even though Auburn won the game, and the score would have been 35-10, but, and here's a big but.
Well, if Bama's good, let's see.
And this is a big but, and this was on Auburn. This one was on Auburn, of all people. And here's why. That 100-yard TD, pick six for a TD, they called it back.
Because of either a block on the back or a hold, and usually when a flag comes out like that, there's only one or two.
This is an unsportsmanlike conduct one. Guess which one it is?
The ever-dreaded obsessive celebration.
Nope. I give you a hint. It's the one thing that you're never supposed to do intentionally. Because if you do it in front of the ref, they will call you on it.
Did he hit him? Did he hit him where he wasn't supposed to?
It's actually, here's another hint. If you do it in the pros twice, you'll get ejected for it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
To the exact same player.
How stupid. You already got called for it once. And you're going to get called for it again? Are you a dunce? And oh yeah, Florida State and Miami, another classic. Coming on ABC is the game of the week.
And the Troy BYU game is at 10:15.
That's Eastern time.
It's the late night game.
That is the equivalent of the independent version of Pac-12 after dark.
And most of us will be asleep.
Keyword, most of us.
Yeah.
Unless you're a football nerd and you have nothing better to do with your time, which I don't. On the ACC
network at 8 o'clock, North Carolina State Wolfpack versus Virginia Tech.
Wahoo.
And in late scoring words,
not really.
Pitt has defeated Louisville by a score of 23-20.
And Syracuse beat the snot out of Georgia Tech.
That much is true.
Literally.
And I know we love football teams as much as the next one, so come on. SEC, ACC, Pac-10, Big 10, Pac-12. What are y'all doing?